Welcome to the August edition of Marines TV Pendleton. I'm Corporal Stephen Holt.
And I'm Lance Corporal Nick Linneman. We're here at Camp Pendleton's Del Mar Beach, which is a popular hangout for Marines and their families.
Throughout this show, we'll take you to popular attractions Marines and their families visit during their off time.
Coming up, a new rocket system hits Camp Pendleton.
An Army veteran bikes across the country.
And Camp Pendleton hosts an international triathlon.
Don't go anywhere. Marines TV Pendleton is next. Welcome back. Del Mar is one of two beaches service members and their families can enjoy by barbecuing, swimming, or simply hanging out.
Beachside cottages are also available for rent, or if camping's more your style, set up shop at the beach's campsite for only $30.
The beach also boasts a bar and grill store as well as a place to rent beach equipment like boogie boards.
For more information, call 725-2134.
Hey, we're going to go hit the surf, but let's take a look as PFC Stephanie Ingersoll takes us to one of Camp Pendleton's ranges.
Marines use high-caliber weapons called artillery to suppress or destroy enemy targets. Dating back more than 200 years, howitzers have been the base plate of field artillery. This is changing as the Marine Corps is adding a new weapon to its arsenal. The High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, or HIMARS, is a truck-mounted rocket launcher that possesses a range more than double a howitzer and requires half the crew. Tango Battery 5th Battalion, 11th Marine Regiment gave Marines TV Pendleton an in-depth look at the new vehicle.
I'm Corporal Goldenhour, Tango Battery 5th Battalion, 11th Marines, and now I'm going to show you the HIMARS, the High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, which you see behind me. As you see right now, we have Marines and some civilians that are out here helping. They're repairing the vehicle right now as we speak. So I'll just kind of give you a little rundown on just the basics of the vehicle. And now you see the Marine just pop out through the hatch. That's where the section chief stands when you're driving around. He's more of your navigator. And if you follow me around to the side, when you're shooting rockets, your driver's main job is to move the louvers up front and put up his own blast shield, as you see here. That stops from debris, shrapnel when the rockets are fired to actually hit the window and possibly cause damage to yourself. These are just a bunch of storage compartments right along the side. The Marines put their gear because you live out of this vehicle. It's more storage areas. You don't want to put any gear back there when actually shooting live rockets because it'll melt. Back here, this is the actual rocket pod itself, and this is the trainer pod. These are not live rockets. This right here is your locking bar. It locks your rocket pod in place when you're doing reloads. The rocket pod will come out, drop down, and then when you put it back up, you want to lock this back. You won't be able to shoot a fire mission if this isn't locked in properly. If you come over here, this is just the other side of the rocket, the launcher module. Usually most of these rocket pods that contain 6 rounds weigh approximately 5,200 pounds. Definitely don't want to get them dropped on you. And this launcher module, it goes left and right. You can shoot at 600 mils, 360 degrees around. Your fire extinguishers, your water jugs, your chains, your shovels. When you shoot these rockets, usually a big fire afterwards, and they have a big backblast area. Crew jumps out when it's all clear and grabs fire extinguishers, your shovels, your water extinguishes the fire if necessary. And that's about it.
The battery recently fired a handful of training rockets on Camp Pendleton's Range 408 during live fire exercises. HIMARS gives Marine Corps artillery capabilities that it never had, not by producing a bigger boom, but ironically, by making smaller ones.
In urban warfare, you're not always dealing with massed formations, you're dealing with snipers or other just small pockets of resistance in single buildings, and we'll have smaller munitions that can go in and range them as well. So it's not just our size large-wise, it's our size small-wise that gives us a full spectrum of what we can and can't engage in the battlefield.
The HIMARS launchers are mounted on trucks, which enables Army Marines to fire the weapon and move locations before enemy forces can determine the launch site. The rocket system provides more options for the Marine Corps' elite warriors.
I think, as always with the Marine Corps, the idea is to support the grunts, and this gives the grunts more options and better accuracy in the kinds of fires that they can call for to support them.
Tango Battery is the first active-duty Marine Corps unit to employ HIMARS. Reporting from Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, I'm Private First Class Stephanie Ingersoll.
As you can see, we've made it to the base paintball park, which has 8 courses you can play.
The course is open Saturdays and Sundays for walk-ons, or you can call 1-800-899-9957 to schedule special events.
If you don't have your own paintball gun, it's okay. They'll even rent you one.
Now let's take a look at our next story as an Army veteran bikes across country to support some wounded warriors.
Ah.
He looks like any other cyclist you'd expect to see aboard Camp Pendleton, but Ed Acevito's journey started more than 2,000 miles ago and is bringing much needed attention to a group of American heroes.
I started this trip in St. Augustine, Florida on the 23rd of March, and the purpose of the trip is to raise awareness for disabled veterans as well as their families, pay tribute to them, and make sure Americans understand their sacrifices. So along the way I've been visiting military installations, veterans hospitals, other organizations that support veterans, and I've also been in touch with organizations such as the Injured Marine Semper Fi Fund, which provides assistance to Marine Corps Navy personnel who've been injured as well as their families. I served 7 years in the Army, and though I'm no longer in uniform, I wanted to do something to show people that support our troops is not just a bumper sticker. Everybody talks about supporting the troops. I wanted to do something concrete, tangible, even if it's only a bike trip, to sort of put the spotlight on our soldiers, our Marines who are out there making sacrifices every day.
While on Camp Pendleton, Acevito took time out to visit some injured Marines from the Wounded Warrior Center. Acevito said he's always had a special place in his heart for Marines.
Coming to Camp Pendleton was absolutely going to be one of the highlights of my trip. I'm glad I finally made it here. Although I served as an Army officer, I have several friends who are Marines, and I've worked with them closely both in combat zones and in peacetime. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for Marines, for everything you guys do and everything you stand for. I think I've been inspired more by the veterans I've met than me inspiring them. It's been great for me as well. And I met these young Marines in San Antonio, Texas at the Brook Medical Center there. Many of them were in their early 20s, or some of them probably teenagers, and their spirit and their attitude was just really inspirational. That kept me going for the rest of the trip all the way out here, so it's been a tremendous experience for me.
Acevito's journey has taken him across 8 different states and countless veterans organizations, but his message to wounded service members hasn't changed.
I've talked to veterans ranging from this war all the way to World War II, and the first thing I tell people is, even though Americans are busy with jobs, careers, families, we haven't forgotten, okay? And even though we get caught up in our day-to-day affairs, most Americans still appreciate the sacrifice being made by our military. And it's just, doing this trip is my way of saying thank you and making sure that that appreciation is still shown.
For more information, or if you'd like to donate, visit Acevito's website at www.bikeforvets.org. Reporting from Camp Pendleton, California, I'm Lance Corporal Nick Linneman.
I am Jimmy Kimmel. You're watching Marines TV Pendleton for hours and hours and hours every day.